Hi, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Julie.
We're moms and we're super basic. We've got our drinks and we're ready to chat. Cheers.
Cheers.
Today is Wednesday, September 2nd, and we've got all the celeb gossip as usual. So let's get started with our drinks.
Yeah.
Old faithful.
Same old. Yeah. We don't have any new alcohols in the house. I do have gin. That's right. I need to look up gin cocktails.
You know what?
Um,
I saw something that I meant to send to you because it was all about gin drinks.
mm.
But I think it's like gin and like club soda, mainly what they are.
Yeah, I think I have that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like with random things thrown in to flavor it up. But
Send it on over if you say it again. Because I've got 2 different bottles of gin and I need ideas.
or someone send
Yeah,
us
so that would work too. Send us your gin cocktail recipes.
for Julie to drink.
Yes.
So I tried to oh my God, tried to recreate a drink that I had out this past week. It was an orange flower mojito.
Ooh, I like mojitos.
Yeah.
Everything about that
So
sounds good.
I tried. I think I went like a little too heavy with the Saint Germain. So it's just rum, Saint
I don't
Germain.
know what that is.
It's like an elderflower liqueur.
Oh, okay. That
Uh,
sounds good.
yeah, so it's that with rum and Saint Germain. And then you're supposed to do like OJ with lime juice. I thought I had OJ. Turns out I do not.
So what'd you do? Squeeze an orange?
Funny. I packed Jackson's lunch and I used the last clementine in his lunch. So I like went into his lunchbox and like pulled out 2 slices of the clementine and like squeezed it for drink. He's like, what
We'll
are you
never
doing?
know.
Nothing. But it's like OJ, lime juice, Sprite, limes, mint. So I got to use my mint plant out back finally.
Mm.
So not bad. I think, like I said, I just think I went a little heavy on the Saint Germain.
And what kind of rum? Like, is it just white rum?
Yeah, so I just used like I have Bacardi rum
Okay.
uh, that I use for like my mixed drinks, like frozen drinks. So I just use that.
Awesome.
It's tasty.
Okay. So, how's life?
Um, so today, Wednesday, is like the first day back for all of our staff at school. So it's normally a stressful time for counselors because we're like fixing all of the kids' schedules and everything. But usually we've been working on them for like the past month. Well, we just got them today. So it's like even more stressful than usual with schedules on top of like, remote learning and everything. So it's going to be a crazy week ahead. So I'm really looking forward to the 4-day weekend and being at the beach for Labor Day. And yeah.
Nice. And what's this about masks?
So it turns out that I'm like one of these like super anxious people about people not wearing masks.
Hmm.
I like had a little bit of a fit about like people not wearing masks. Like I was also on my period, but I like was like almost in tears, like scared that people weren't being cautious.
Yeah. That's tough, especially when you're in a position where you have to be out.
Yeah.
Like you don't have an option, and then people aren't taking it seriously or aren't
Yeah.
like concerned about other people's health. That I could see how that's so hard.
Yeah. And I was like, am I like overthinking this? Like, and I
No, a
mean,
lot of people are just assholes.
yeah, that too. But I was just like, what? Like, what do you do? Like, you can't live in fear, but like also you want to be cautious. I don't know. So it turns out I'm very anxious about people not wearing masks around me. And I mean, I'm just going to have to like work through it. But I feel like, are there other people out there that like feel the same way, like that there's so many sides to it, you know.
I think you're not alone. Mike went food shopping today and he came home and that's immediately what he starts talking about is that he can't believe that there's people in the supermarket not wearing masks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm doing great. Since it's the first of the month, I bill, like that's part of. So I run a like content creation and repurposing business, and I started about a year ago, maybe a year and 2 months ago, and it like slowly grew, and I had my biggest month yet in August. So I was like billing for all the work that I did, and when I saw the final amount, I was like, holy crap. So that's super exciting. However, it's sort of one of those things where it's like you finally feel like you're in a good groove, and then it's like, let's throw a wrench in it. So I start homeschooling next week. So it's like run your own business and homeschool.
Well, what is that going to look like for you next week, like with your schedule and theirs?
So my plan is that we're going to get up, do breakfast, and then we're going to do school, like actual work. 8:30 to between like 10:30 and 11. Because at their age, that's all they need. And then I'll make them lunch, and then I'll start working around noon. And I mean, all summer anyway, I work at the kitchen counter because Mike is also working from home currently. So he took over my office. And so I work from the kitchen counter and they're in and out the whole time. But I typically get done like early to mid-afternoon and then usually like take them to go do something like swim or something like that. But now I'm thinking I'm going to be working into like early evening, and Mike said he'll start cooking dinner more so like I can work through like when I would normally be like prepping and cooking dinner. So
okay. So what will their afternoons look like while you're working? Sorry, we got Walter.
So they kind of do their own thing. Like I'm really lucky because they're only a year apart, so they totally entertain each other. So it'll be a lot of like free play, a lot of Legos. They're even getting a bit older and they'll go like ride their bikes across the street a little bit, which actually they can't do once this starts. We live across the street from the high school, so they'll go and ride their bikes around the school, but they're not going to be able to do that once school's in session.
That's true.
Yeah, but which that brings to the next thing is that Luke finally started riding his bike. So Luke is older than Liam by a year.
He didn't ride his bike.
Not without training wheels. He'd been using training wheels. So we made a big mistake with teaching them. We put Luke on a bike with training wheels, and then after Luke was already riding a bike with training wheels, we found out about like Strider bikes, like what do they call them? The ones without pedals. Strider's a brand, but they call them
the balance bikes.
Balance bikes, yes. And Liam just like took off with it, and Liam was riding a pedal on his own, never used training wheels bike at 4. Like just did it. And meanwhile, Luke was like still on training wheels until last year. And we got rid of his training wheel bike because he's so tall. Like it wasn't even possible anymore. And this year we had a mountain bike for him and he just didn't want to try. And finally, last Wednesday, Mike was like, let's just give it a try. He had it in like a second and he's been doing it nonstop. Like it's all he wants to do now. That's awesome. Yeah, that's exciting. So that'll be something that they can go outside and do. And being that they're like a little older, and I mean, I can see out the whole, like one side of our house is basically windows. I can look outside and see where they're at almost any time. So they can go outside and play. They can climb trees. They can ride bikes. They can play Legos. I got them Chromebooks, and they're going to be able to use those, but for educational games. I put like Khan Academy on there and Monster Math.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Yeah. And then come 3 o'clock, because that's when the school day would be over anyway, I'll let them turn on the TV if they want to. But most days they don't even really want to. We usually just put the TV on after dinner.
Yeah. Nice. Well, sending you all the positive vibes.
I'm going to need them because, the schedule makes sense in my head, but let's see if it happens.
I know, like, remember when quarantine started and everyone was posting like those quarantine schedules, and I did it too. I was like, oh my God, this is like awesome thing to follow. Shh. Throw that right out the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also had a big like color-coded blocked calendar schedule, but it was definitely more realistic. It wasn't like some of those going around were like morning meditation and like,
yeah.
No. Ours was like, this is what's actually happening. And I even did like me and Mike in different colors. So we knew who at what times was like the one that was working, but also in charge of what the kids were doing. So like I had all 4 of us on it, like color coded. And it did work. We followed it until the end of the school year. Well, actually, we followed it until I broke my ankle, which was about 3 weeks before the end of the school year, maybe 2 weeks. Once I broke my ankle, I basically emailed both of their teachers and we're like, we're done. Like, I can't get off the couch. I'm not monitoring them in Zoom meetings anymore.
Yeah, enough is enough.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got like a ton of celebrity news this week.
It's a busy week.
It was a busy week, and there were things that we didn't even like put in here that we could have.
Yeah.
Like I had started a slide about the VMAs that I took out because I realized I don't know anything about the VMAs. Like literally all I know is they happened this weekend.
I didn't watch them. I heard they were like virtual kind of.
Yeah, like I think that they filmed some stuff ahead of time and some stuff wasn't, and people wore masks, and I like tried to even look it up, and I'm like, I don't even know who these people are.
Yeah, I saw some pictures and they were like so-and-so and like what she was wearing. I was like, I have no idea who that person is. Mm-hmm. So VMAs, I'm okay with us not talking about the VMAs because not much to offer.
I know, but there's two new babies. I don't like either of the names. Okay, so Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom had a little girl named Daisy Dove.
Do you know where Dove came from?
Well, it's a bird.
Yeah, but there's like did they say any like meaning behind the name or no?
I haven't TBH, I read like the caption on the Instagram posts. I haven't read any articles or anything.
So I've been loving Katy Perry's posts because did you see the picture of her like with the pump on and the hospital underwear? Like,
she's really fun, and I really like them together. But
they're a cute couple.
Don't love the name.
I like Daisy,
but I would never name my child. Her last name's Bloom.
Daisy.
Daisy Bloom. Like, I feel like you could.
Do you think they thought about that?
That's like one of those things where it's like, all right, your last name is Bloom. Whatever you do, don't name your kid after a flower. Like,
maybe they saw the opposite. Like, we have to name her after a flower.
No.
I like that she has the daisy on her nail, though.
Yeah, that's really cute. Yeah. I wonder if, because you can only see the one fingernail, I wonder if other ones have doves on them.
Oh, good point.
Okay, so Ed Sheeran and his wife, Cherry Seaborn, they welcomed their daughter this week also, named Lyra Antarctica. That's a mouthful.
And the last name is Sheeran?
Seaborn Sheeran. I believe it's hyphenated.
That's a lot of long words.
That's a lot of words. It is a lot. I mean, now you have to in school, it'll be Lyra Sheeran. That's not awful. Like, nobody's ever going to be like, Lyra Antarctica. Like, I wonder if Antarctica is somehow, like, special to them.
Yeah, that's why, like, I'm, like, all these, like, random middle names. I'm like, why? Is there something, like, behind it that they just... Antarctica is very random, though.
Yeah. The name itself makes sense, right? I didn't look into like the word etymology, but I can guess that it has to do with music because like lyrical, the root is music based, right?
Is he Irish?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Lyra like an Irish name?
I don't know. Is it a real name? I just thought they took like a word, which is a celebrity thing to do. Are you Googling it? Go for it. I also think that it might be a Greek, there might be like a Greek myth or story with a lyra.
Oh.
And then there's if you spell it like that, but with an E at the end, isn't that an instrument or no?
So you're on the right track. It is technically it's a constellation from the lyre of Orpheus. Okay. And it's also Greek, and it also means lyre or harp.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you spell it like Lyre, that's an instrument that looks like a harp, right?
Yeah. That's all
that makes sense. Honestly, I don't dislike the name.
I like Lyra. That's cute.
Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't. Oh, wait. Here we go. It says it's of Greek origin. It's the constellation which holds the star Vega, which is one of the brightest stars in the sky.
Oh, that's nice. That's cute. Yeah. All right. I'm here for that one. Okay. Don't love Antarctica as a middle name, but
I never understand that part of it.
Hard pass. Yeah. Okay. So this is like, let's consider this super B-list celebrity.
I don't know who these people are. I assume you do about some show you watch or something.
No. It's Candace Cameron's son.
Wait.
So I brought this up because we talked about the Beckham son, who's like 22 and got engaged. And when we were talking about them, we were talking about, well, the parents got married young, right? I think they got married in their early 20s and they're still together. So Candace Cameron and her husband, I think it's Valentine or Vladimir, I forget. Something with a V. Burr. They got married when they were 20 and they've been married for 24 years.
Okay.
And this is their son, and he just got engaged, and he's 20.
Interesting.
So I don't know what I think about this stuff. Like, okay, if they're looking at their parents' examples, it's like, this works.
How long were they like dating beforehand, you know?
These two were dating longer than Brooklyn Beckham and his girlfriend, because I think they were only dating like 6 months. These two have been dating like a year and a half.
That's still not that long for being that young.
No, I was going to say Mike and I were dating a year and a half when we got engaged, but we were like 25. But now that I'm saying that, is 25 that much more? That? Sure. I mean, I guess it is more mature, like you're out of college, you're holding down a job. But
when you're 20, you're like still in college.
Yeah.
Not that far removed from high school.
No. So, yeah, I'm interested to see. So Candace Cameron commented on everything, so happy. Apparently Taylor, whoever she is, her parents also commented on everything, super excited. I don't know. So part of me also thinks like, this is a weird time, right? Like lots of couples are splitting up. Lots of couples are getting engaged. People are spending a lot of time together. And I think it's maybe speeding things up. It's like we're spending every waking moment together. Like, okay, this can work. Or we're spending every waking moment together. I want to murder this person.
We're done.
Yeah, so I just thought this was interesting to bring up because of the Romeo Beckham. Not Romeo, Brooklyn.
Is it Brooklyn? Yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn's the one that got engaged. Romeo just turned 18. I follow the entire Beckham family on Instagram. The day Harper gets an Instagram, I'm sure I'll start following her.
Our Instagrams look very different.
I know the other day you said, what did you say? I was like, why don't you follow more accounts? And you're like, I don't want to like scroll and just see memes. And I'm like, what? Like that, if I'm scrolling Instagram, I don't want to see other people. All I want to see is me.
Yeah, complete opposite. I like seeing people, but like people I know, not like memes or celebrities.
I feel like that's what I use Facebook for. Like Facebook is very slim. Like I'm not friends with many people, and I want to see only like people I know, and then and groups. I do a lot of groups in Facebook, and then on Instagram, if I'm scrolling the feed, I want meme after meme after meme.
Yeah, agreed. About the Facebook part. But I think I'm on Facebook more for the groups than
the
feed. But okay, what else do we
have? Ashlee Simpson did a ad for
Clear Blue,
not True Blue. I started saying True Blue and I'm like, that is not it. But she's like
the song we used to sing.
Yes. She's real far along, right? Like multiple trimesters along.
This post that she did, like she did like videos with it too, like on her feed. And people, like the comments were the best part because people were like, you needed a Clear Blue pregnancy test to tell you that you were pregnant. You're like 6 months pregnant. Like, wasn't the pregnant belly like sign enough for you that you were pregnant? And then other people started like slamming her about her kitchen. They're like, there's no way this is your kitchen. Like, this is like,
it kind of looks like a kitchen that would be in like any housewives, like middle class, like housewives.
Normal kitchen, not like a celebrity kitchen.
Right. No, it does. I didn't even think of that, but I'm looking at it. I wonder if she'll get like a total redo now. I mean, she could change the color of the cabinets and the countertops, and it might look better.
But it was like also random because like in some of the other shots, you can see like the scrub brush from the sink is like up on the counter, and like you could see her toaster in this one. And it's just like random things that like if it was like a ad and like created a certain way, like those things wouldn't be.
Well, it is sponsored.
Yeah.
Because you're required to put that in, and it says sponsored.
Yeah, but she could have created it.
Oh, yeah, like there was no one coming out to help her. I don't think she's getting like the big ad bucks though either, I'm guessing. I thought the weirdest part about it was the VMAs tie-in.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other one is a video, so I couldn't put that in here. But the other one goes more heavy into the VMA stuff about how she was pregnant when she went to do the 2008 VMAs. And it's like, this is so random.
Yeah, like there were some other comments and people were like, I'm so confused what's happening here. Like,
right, it's like, okay.
Why are you pulling all these
pregnant and VMAs. The only thing I could think of is that maybe Clear Blue sponsored the VMAs.
I think they were.
Whatever is going on, it's odd timing.
Connection they could find between the VMAs.
Yeah.
And Clear Blue.
Super duper weird.
Random.
I was trying to think. I feel like there was something else celebrity related that I didn't put a slide in for. But I can't think of what it was now. Oh,
well, she's having her third baby. She looks gorgeous as always.
She does. And so I went through her whole like Instagram feed too. She has the cutest bump. It's like little and like high. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I feel like when I was pregnant, it was like my bump was like my entire like midsection. She's got one of those like real cute ones.
She carries very well.
Yeah.
But
their daughter is gorgeous too.
I don't think I looked closely. I mean, I'm sure she is. I'm not arguing that. But this was a random post and people are like calling her out on it. So it's interesting to read the comments. That's what.
Oh, I'm so pumped for this next one.
What This is like so bizarre. I know you've done your research, so explain it all to me.
Oh, I mean, I didn't do enough research to know her name. Do you know it? No. Some name I wouldn't be able to pronounce anyway, probably.
Yeah.
But she's a German model.
Yeah, I was going to say Russian. German. Okay.
German, I think. They met in, ready, we're jumping right in. They met in her husband's restaurant. Yes, you heard that correctly. Her husband's restaurant. Her husband is apparently like a famous celebrity chef in Germany, who is, wait for it, 63, I think? 68, okay. And he's 53, is that what it is? I feel like there was a 3 somewhere.
I don't know his age, but I know she's, what, 27?
She's 27, and they've been married for, I believe, 9 years, which puts her at
18?
She was 18 or 19 when they got married, and they have a 5-year-old.
This is weird.
And they are in an open marriage. And as I said, they met at his restaurant. Her and Brad Pitt met at her husband's restaurant.
So, I mean,
this is like the most woke couple out there, I guess.
So, I mean, do we kind of expect this from Brad Pitt now? Because think about the previous timeline, right? He was with Jennifer Aniston. The gray area between getting divorced when him and Angelina Jolie started.
There was no gray area.
There was definitely a gray area. On Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that's when they got together. And I don't think him and Jennifer Aniston were divorced.
No, that's what I'm saying. There is no gray area. It was a black area. He cheated.
So, it's with Angelina Jolie. And that was like a weird relationship she had, like with her brother and everything. Remember all that stuff? It was just like so odd.
I get like a little bit of an Angelina vibe from her too, but maybe it's the big lips because she has huge lips in every picture.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the light eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So now into this, like even weirder.
Yeah. So then I read a meme somewhere, or maybe it was a comment on a post that said something like open marriage. I think any man whose wife meets Brad Pitt finds himself suddenly in an open marriage. Like just kind of implying that like, yeah, they're calling it an open marriage now, but like maybe it really wasn't.
Yeah, before they met and he decided he liked her. So where are they at on the picture on the right?
Oh, so that's what everyone was saying. Like, this isn't a new girlfriend. They've been together since November. And I think the picture on the right is photographic proof of them on a date in November.
Yeah. Because clearly there's tons of people around and no one's wearing a mask. So, like, there's...
it's not current. Gosh, he's cute, though.
Mm-hmm. She's very young.
No, he's cute.
Oh, he's cute. I thought you said she's cute. She's pretty.
She is pretty. But man, he's cute. Look at his just smile. He's so cute.
I'm not like a Brad Pitt person.
What?
Yeah, I mean, yes, he's handsome, but like, he's not my type. I mean, if I met him in real life, I might be in an open marriage too.
I'm pretty sure he's everyone's type. Okay. Any other celebrity news before we move to the next one?
I can't think of any.
Okay. And it didn't come to me, but I did want to talk about this.
Ugh, this was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So Chadwick Boseman died, 43 years old, cancer. He had his wife, and did he have children too?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many. I actually haven't done too much research on it because it was a hard one for me. Mm-hmm. Because, and most people that know me know this, but my brother died of colon cancer. And he was 33 when he died. And so anytime someone young dies of colon cancer, it's kind of just like another because it's one of those things where people don't realize that young people get it.
Yeah.
Even with like having a family history of it, it's so hard to get screened for it and to get like insurance to cover it and everything like that. And I think that's part of the reason why it's considered one of the most deadly cancers, because a lot of times it's not caught until later stages. And it's not caught until later stages because they don't screen you at all if you're under 50.
Yeah.
So when young people get it, it's usually at the point where you're not going to be able to stop it.
So when they start like noticing symptoms and stuff like that, it's really far along.
Right. And even a lot of people will go with symptoms and they still won't give them the proper screenings. They'll be like, oh, a big one is you have hemorrhoids. You just have hemorrhoids. And it's not. It's like an internal tumor, but nobody's checking because you're 30. You know what I mean? So that's just one of those things with having a family member who went through this. You start to realize how much more widespread something is than people realize, and how much bigger of an issue it is that a lot of times insurance companies won't cover proper screenings if you're under 50.
Gotcha. Even if you have like a family history of it?
Chelsea, let me tell you. So we have a family history of it, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, my brother died at 33 of colon cancer. When he was diagnosed, it was stage 4. And it took me a little while, maybe like a year after he died, I went and saw a doctor and was like, okay, I want a colonoscopy. I want to make sure I'm all good. I want to make sure I'm clear. And I went to my GP first, and the GP set me up for it. Listen, I know you have a family history, but it could get denied. And the GP walked me through what to say to the GI doctor to be able to get the referral to get the colonoscopy.
Wow.
So like they wouldn't do it just on a family history. I was 32 years old at this point, and they would not approve it unless I said I physically had stomach pains, bloating. Like they told me in the one doctor's office, like, this is what you have to tell them you have to get the colonoscopy covered by insurance.
Because if it wasn't covered, you would just have to pay out of pocket for it.
Oh yeah, and they're like thousands of dollars.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, this was another like side of this, was that like no one knew.
Yeah.
And he had it for 4 years, and in between treatments was filming all these movies. Like even the producers of the movies that he was in had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
I always, there was someone else recently that didn't, like, and I get that you're a public figure and you don't want to make like your cancer battle public, but there's a part of me that also thinks kind of like, but like what work could you have done? You know what I mean? Like how many, but I mean, I hate to say it now that he passed away, there's going to be a lot of attention on it because of that. I wonder if he had beat it, which honestly though, he had stage 3 when he was diagnosed. You're not beating colon cancer when it gets caught at stage 3. Like you might get 5 to 15 years, but you're not beating it at that point, which is awful to say, but it's just colon cancer is like that bad. I wonder if he had beat it, if he had gotten it to go into remission, if he would have come out with it at that point and done like work for the, like cancer associations and stuff like that.
I know he did a lot of work with children's cancer units, and like did a lot of like visits to those hospitals, and that's like everyone's saying now, like, he's going and visiting these kids and like, doing all these things for these certain foundations, cancer like related, and like no one like, but didn't disclose that like he himself was.
I bet they knew though. There's that, like, when someone's going through chemo, like even in the pictures they posted after the fact, because that's another awful thing about this is he was getting trolled and people were saying he was on crack.
Yeah.
And, Yeah, there's very specific looks that you have when you're going through chemo. And I think that families that have been through that recognize it. So if he was visiting the kids at like St. Jude's, which I think they said that's one of the places he was going, and that he had like direct correspondence with a couple of kids, their families had to have known. And I just think that's so respectable that they didn't like let out his secret. Like if it was his desire not to tell people, that those people didn't, like for their 15 minutes of fame, tell his story basically.
Yeah. But
also, what a-holes that were like calling him a crackhead.
People, that's one reason why I hate like social media and the internet, because it's just like people will say anything behind a keyboard, but they won't say it, like, you know, that they would never say to your face.
Yeah, for sure. So this one made me really sad, obviously, but okay. On the blog this week, you wrote this.
This is actually my post. If you watch Mom Chats Weekly, you know that I have a problem with Amazon. So I was like, okay, let's get some fall Amazon finds all rounded up for you guys. So like, you know, just transitioning your house over to fall, pillows, doormats, mugs, dish towels, decor, that kind of stuff, all on Amazon. Add to cart and be done. So I actually ordered the pillowcases today that are linked up in here, and I'm really excited for them to come in. So I'll show
an adult thing that people decorate for seasons.
What?
Because I don't
Well,
do anything.
So I know you're like far away from your family. Like you don't do like holidays with your family at your house, right?
No.
Yeah. So like if you did, like say you did Thanksgiving, would you decorate your house for fall?
I might put like something in the center of the table.
What if you didn't hate fall? Do you decorate for Christmas?
Yeah, but it's not like the whole house doesn't transform. It's like one room and a tree.
You're a minimalist.
I just, Mike hates
fall and like to decorate. Not Julie.
If I started just putting up extra random stuff, Mike would be like, what the fuck?
I challenge you to get one thing from the Amazon fall finds list and put it in your house and see what Mike says.
Maybe I will. I'll like take down a picture and like put something else up and see if he even notices.
There's actually a really good thing linked up in here that is multi-purpose, because one side of it is a fall decoration and the other side is Christmas.
All right, maybe I'll get that.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll let you know. All right. What are you watching? What are you reading?
Okay, I finished Dr. Foster. Did you?
Yes, I also finished it.
What happened?
Her son ran away. I don't like, that was the worst ending.
It was so random. Like it was
Mike was angry at the end of it.
Yeah, it's like I was watching, I was like, what is like happening here? Like it was like they all wanted to kill themselves and then they didn't, and then the son ran away.
Yeah, and it wasn't cohesive with the theme from the first season. Like it should have ended with something between the two of them, because the whole thing for 2 seasons was about them and him being obsessed with her and the whole situation. And as for then the kid to run away, it was kind of like, okay. And like her voiceover did sort of describe it as like, you think that the issue is one thing and something else is going on behind the scenes. And that, I mean, I get that, but it wasn't how I wanted it to end or saw it ending.
See, her voiceover made me think that, like, while they were so focused on each other, like all that was going down, like right under the radar, and that if they would have like stopped and really thought about him, where they did for like half of one episode. Remember, they were like, we're gonna work together, and it was really just like
and then they boned, yeah.
To get him to bed. Like that's how I took it. Like,
Yeah, but I almost feel like it felt like such an afterthought. Like it felt like a very like we're not getting a third season. How do we wrap this up and make it seem like all of this was intentional?
okay, so there's not a third season.
I don't think so because if you look on IMDb, it has like an end date. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was really disappointed with the ending because I felt like, yeah, it was like kind of like a messy ending and like could have been so much better.
Yeah.
I really
You know what else I also didn't like the end of the first season? What was that?
I said I think she should have killed Simon.
I thought she was going to on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
But the end of the first season, know what I thought was weird about that was so everything gets wrapped up. They do like 6 months later, her and Tom are like out in the town square and like
They see
someone needs medical help and she runs over and she says, I'm Dr. Foster. And like I was like, that's odd. Like you just divorced your husband. Like I was expecting her to say her like maiden name or something and then be like, oh, okay, like we came full circle. Like, but for her to say Dr. Foster, then I was like, what?
Did you notice that they didn't call her Dr. Foster when she was checking out at the hotel?
Right. She used her maiden name there.
Elise or whatever.
Yeah.
Elise or whatever. So I mean, I thought the first season was good, and like second season, I remember telling you like I kind of see like where is this gonna go, and like initially I was like okay, and then it just went off the rails.
Yeah, it was almost like they tried to do too much.
Yeah,
too much.
Agreed.
Still good. Like if anyone asked me, I'd be like, yeah, watch it.
Yeah. Well, I need something else to watch. So what are you watching?
Okay, so we watched another episode of Unwell. I know last week we talked about the episode with essential oils. I kind of we've been in this like groove of watching like some sort of like science-y or somewhat educational show with the kids before they go to bed. And so they picked the episode of Unwell that was about bee venom.
I thought you were going to say that you watched the Kama Sutra one with the boy.
Nope. We watched bee venom. I gave them like 3 options. They picked bee venom. And it was pretty interesting. People they like put bees on their skin and sting it, and something about the chemical in the bee sting, the way that your body fights it, like heals autoimmune disease. There's a lot of people using it for Lyme's disease and arthritis. And then there are people that use face creams with bee venom in them. Now it's not a long-term solution, but the venom stimulates something, and then the cortisol comes and it fills out wrinkles for like up to 12 hours. But bee venom itself is worth like hundreds of dollars. Like they took like this little scoop of bee venom, and the chick that was like mixing the moisturizer was like this scoop, and it was like the tiniest little bit on the tip of a spoon, is worth $300.
What? I'm just gonna say, should I look up bee venom moisturizers? But
you should, and then be very careful about getting ripped off, because a lot of places they said you say that it's bee venom, but it's not, or it's such a little amount. Interesting. Yeah, so definitely interesting, the bee venom episode. Would recommend.
All right.
We've also been watching The World According to Jeff Goldblum. My kids love Jeff Goldblum. They refer to him as Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Big Jurassic Park fans. All 3 Jurassic Parks, both Jurassic Worlds. They love Jeff Goldblum. And as I texted you the other day that I found out that they thought his name was Cool Blue. They were saying his name out loud, and I'm like, what are you saying? And yeah, they thought it was Cool Blue because his last name. But yeah, it's weird. He's weird. He's a weird fella.
Is it
there's
like a reality show, like documentary kind
yeah,
of?
it's like one of those docu-series where every episode there's like a different theme. So far we've watched sneakers, pools, um I
And
can't
what is
remember.
he saying about sneakers?
He goes to like a bunch bikes was another one. He goes so like for the bike one. He started out with like BMX bikers and he saw like what types of bikes they ride and they taught him how to ride a BMX. And then he went to like this factory or design facility in America that makes like the most custom bikes. And they showed him how they like you do this whatever the metal is that bikes are made out of so that it like bends this way but not that way. And then they had him in like a wind tunnel and they were like seeing how like the resistance changes. And then he went to like a bike ride with a bunch of people that ride those like bike cruisers. Yeah,
So is it like Down to Earth with Zac Efron, but like
yeah, but Jeff Goldblum's weirder
yeah.
and he doesn't visit like cool places. Oh my gosh, Liam just yelled. He's not weird at all.
Oh, okay. All right, I won't be checking that one out.
I'm getting yelled at. He is not weird at all. I told you, Jeff Goldblum is like their hero. All right, we also watched the movie yesterday, over the weekend. Super cute. Would definitely recommend.
Is this the one about the Beatles?
Yeah, so he gets in an accident, he wakes up, and no one's ever heard of the Beatles before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cute. I love Lily James. She was in Cinderella, the live action Cinderella, and she was in Downton Abbey. So I love her. And yeah, it's just super cute and it's funnier than I expected. I didn't expect there to be so many laughs.
Okay. Maybe I'll check. What was that on Netflix?
No clue.
Okay.
Prime, maybe Prime.
Okay. I have them all. I don't know.
All right. Have you watched any $1 Million Beach House?
No, and I don't think I'm going to, because listening or reading your messages about it in our group text, I don't think I would like it like I like Selling Sunset.
No, it's like the most low grade version of Selling Sunset. The comparison would be The Hills, right? Selling Sunset would be The Hills and Jersey Shore. Like that's
I like Jersey Shore.
No, but like in comparison to like how shitty the people are, right? Like in The Hills, like, all right, they're shitty, they're self-absorbed, but like no, $1 Million Beach House is awful. The thing is though, there's only 6 episodes and they're all short. They're like 25 to 30 minutes. So you can knock it out in like no time. Okay. It's also much more guy heavy than girl heavy. So like in Selling Sunset, you've got Jason and Brett, but they're barely on, and it's mainly the girls. This is all boys, and then there's one girl broker. And they are everything you hate about New York.
Oh yeah, this is in the Hamptons, right?
I can't stand it's like triggering, and I think it's probably triggering from like growing up in the area that we grew up. But the second I heard their accents, I was like, physical reaction to how awful their accents
all
are.
Stereotypical New York stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like New York, I kind of have money, and I am such a dick. Like it's just they're awful. The other thing that's awful, Selling Sunset has like great stagers. There's 2 girls that stage on this, and they're so bad.
Really?
So, I mean, it's hard to say if they're bad all the time or if they're getting like bad advice or something, because they had, there was one house that they staged and it looked beautiful. Every other house they staged had the most oddly obnoxious stuff in it that I was like, like a lot of times I don't get
the design,
decorations or design, but I could like be like, yeah, that all looks good together. Yeah. Everything they showed that these girls staged, I was like,
And it's beach houses, so I'm assuming it's like beachy decor, right? No.
That might be the problem.
Okay.
Maybe
Huh.
that's the problem. It's a lot of orange.
I don't think I'll watch it. Sorry.
I think you should. I'd love your opinions.
Maybe I'll watch the first episode since it's short and then not commit any more time to it.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
And I started listening to, because I do the Audible audiobooks, Alice Feeney, His and Hers. So this is her new book, just came out in July. I read another one of her books, What Alice Forgot, sorry, is what it's called. I think that's what it's called. Oh my gosh, I might have messed it up. I put it in the notes. But she does a lot of that, like, multi-perspectives. So it's like, and I feel like that's like the new thing in books lately. So hers is like, his is the detective and hers is the reporter. So it goes back and forth. But if you're listening to the audio version, they also have like the murderer's perspective too. And it's like, like when on TV shows, like when murderers like speak into that like voice changer thing, it's like that. Like the person that is narrating is speaking.
So is that distracting?
It's hard to follow, but it's very small snippets. It's not nearly as long as the male and female perspectives, but it's like hers, like she's more of like a murder mystery, psychological thriller kind of writer. So good so far.
Good so far. All right, good to know. Okay. Meme time.
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to?
Yeah, I had a hard time picking today because there were like a lot that I've thought were funny lately, but none that I was like, this is hysterical. Yeah. So I went with, before memes, we used to just yell out Chappelle Show quotes at each other. And this one made me laugh because my husband does not have Facebook, Instagram. He has like no social media platforms, nothing. And he still yells Chappelle Show quotes. So this tracks.
He's stuck in a time warp. Yeah, I totally remember when Dave Chappelle had all his stand-up and his show, the Chappelle Show. Oh, that's what it says. Duh. Yeah. And yeah, he would just laugh about that, or use it as your response to someone. Mine reminds me of our college days. And listen, if drunk me said or did something, you got to take it up with drunk me. Don't come at sober me because we weren't there. We don't know what happened. And this reminds me of two of our friends in particular that you could never talk to them about what they did when they were drunk because they had like no recollection at all.
No recollection. One of them, I think, usually had a recollection and used not having a recollection as an excuse. I, however, have never blacked out. I drink really sugary sweet drinks, so before I ever black out, I throw up.
Then you're good.
And then I'm good. So I've never blacked out in my life. I remember everything I've said or done. So you can come at me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we definitely have friends that would wake up the next morning and have no clue. Like they wouldn't even know how they got in like the clothes they're in, or
yeah. It's like they were dropped from the sky and you were like, what? Oh man, but that was one of my favorites from this week because it just brought me back.
Yeah, I like that one too. Okay, so this is a cute picture. What's happening here? Sleeping bag?
Oh, yes. So Ryan turned 1 in May. So that means at daycare, they start transitioning him out of the crib for naps and like into the nap mat on the floor with his other little friends. So I had to purchase him a nap mat. Jackson has one of these too, for like a different type for daycare too. So I was just like kind of getting sentimental, like, or upset. Sentimental, is that the right word? Because I was like, oh my gosh, he's like getting big.
Yeah, he is getting big.
if you need a nap mat, this one is a really good price because I remember buying Jackson's and it was like $40. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And then when I went to go find one for Ryan, this one was like $19.99. So
Oh, not bad at all.
easy to wash, it rolls up and has little Velcro straps so you can like have it with a handle and a roll. So good deal if you have a kid in daycare that needs a nap mat.
Nice. So, you know, I either buy a million things or nothing.
I was going to say, wow.
Because, and I know, was it you that had a chat with me that like, you have Prime, you don't have to wait. I wait till my cart has like 8 things in it before I hit purchase. I don't know why. They all come from different places. I have Prime, there's no shipping. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I do it. But I do. So this week I bought covers. So you can't see. I'm sitting on a bar stool right now that looks just like these, except it's from IKEA. And so we tried to purchase the slip covers from IKEA, but we needed 3 gray slip covers, and they only had 1 in stock in all of IKEA. I don't know, like it would only ship 1 to me. And I'm like, no, I need 3. I have 3 stools. Right now they have white on them, which was a very bad idea with when we moved in here, the people that lived here before us left them for us because they were like the right height and everything. And they had white slip covers on them. And they're like, it's like a little bit of like a tweedy white, but it's still primarily white. And at the time we had a 3 and a 4-year-old, and they're awful. I started out washing them every like week or so and like stain cleaner, everything. And then eventually I was like, fuck this. So we ordered like a darker gray, which will actually probably go better in the kitchen anyway. Okay. And they should come Saturday. So I'm excited to see if they work, if they actually fit. I also got this modeling clay kit because Luke has been asking for modeling clay forever. He really wants to build dinosaurs out of modeling clay.
Okay.
And it's really good for him because he has some like fine motor issues. So I'm excited to see what he does with modeling clay and if it helps improve that. And then I got them these like yoga ball seats for doing school at home.
Awesome. Those things are great.
Yeah, I'm excited for them. I'm sure they're going to love them. And then if you're in our Facebook group, you know that I've been posting a lot about the issues I've been having with my 6-year-old. And he has a very bad temper. And he's also been saying like really hurtful things lately, like, I wish you're dead. And so I asked for recommendations for books about, to the theme of like, once you say something, you can't take it back. Yeah. Like people might forget about it or they might forgive you, but you can't take it back once you said it. So this came as a recommendation from someone in our group. I think it was Ginny, and it should be here Saturday. So I'm going to see if it works, if it helps him understand that once you say something hurtful, like it's out there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
This is like a kid's book for him to read?
Well, I think I'd read it to him.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's all.
Well,
I actually did buy other stuff. I also bought index cards and sticky notes, but I didn't think everyone needed to see those.
Why didn't you post that? I did good this week because remember, like when you were like, "Oh my God, you bought so much stuff this week," and I was like, "No, I have my weeks where I like don't buy a lot." This was that week.
This was the week where you didn't buy a lot? Yeah.
So I'll try to keep it up.
I'm proud of you.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining us for another week of Mom Chats. We hope you enjoyed listening, and be sure to subscribe to our emails so you get it in your inbox before anybody else. We'll see you next week. Bye.